We are back with day 7. Calling it now. The first week of Bleach Soul Resonance is in the book. I've posted a video every single day of this week, trying to sort of catalog where I am. Completely free to play. Ain't no money being spent here. Just to kind of give people well, what can you expect from the game, right? We'd see no packs here. No paid up top right. It's gonna be like a little bit of account overview. Talk about my feelings on the game. Talk about how my experience has been. You guys went crazy on the last Bleach Soul Resonance video, talking about how this might literally be the worst account on Global, man, because I got Yoruichi from the actual free-to-play pulls, which is a nightmare. But we move on again. I'm just going over, making sure, it's very apparent that I guess in any way I can, nothing is bought. I don't really know where all the paid stuff is, so I'm kind of just going over everything, showing you my resources, and we're just gonna get into talking about like I said, how have my experiences been, how am I feeling about Bleach Soul Resonance now that we're a full week in, and yeah, I will go ahead to the banner here, but we have to get to the matter at hand here because I said that this was the worst account on Global, but it's time to be honest with myself. This is the second worst account on Global because the game threw me a bone. If you notice, there are 4 banners here. That's right. How did you get 80 pulls, 40 pulls, whatever it is for the selector, you might ask? I pull that bitch in 10. I hit a little 10 pull on it, got it immediately. Ooh, look at him, dude. I've been waiting for this moment. I wish it would have came sooner. I wish it would have been a little bit easier. But, I mean, that's just how it goes. Sometimes the game wants to show me my ass before it, pays me. I'll take it, right? 200 pulls into the permanent character gacha, the standard launch banner. And I have pulled Yoruichi. I have pulled Komamura. And I have pulled Yoruichi. That is an absolute nightmare situation. I then said, well, I guess I'll go to my selector. And I pulled Urahara on 10 pulls, a flat multi. My plans now, and you might be seeing the advanced ticket stub exchange. So if you don't really oh, you're like, what is all this? Oh, you can get dupes and blah, blah, blah. I would say that I've been using it on the gacha ticket just to flesh out my account. The reason I've been using it on the gacha tickets to flesh out my account, the standard gacha tickets to flesh out my account, is because it's just more fun. I mean, flatly, it's more fun, right? I do think that if you're maximizing your time playing this game, you do just want to pick up as many limited tickets as you can, obviously, right? Obviously. But after pulling Yoruichi on a dupe, I was like, I just need to actually get into the selector and start pulling and get my second my third SSR, because having a dupe is some sad business, right? As for the missions, again, I do want to say that this is my Stonewall right now. So I'm 1 mission off of getting another 10 pull. If I look here, 2 characters reach level 60. I am at needing level 40, right? So 40 unlocks all of that. I go out, I go to my XP, level 37, and 15 XP off of 2900, which gets level 38. So for all intents and purposes, I'm level 38. I'm going to be able to do, once I'm done, I've literally not spent any of my energy today. I got up, I got straight into it. 156 out of 240. This is after me sleeping and everything. After I do that little bit of energy spending, right? Continue to power up characters, continuing to do this or that. We'll go through the main story again. Clear stage 7-1 unlocks at 38. We'll continue through the main story, and hopefully we'll arrive at I mean, this is level 43. This is actually going to clear chapter 6. Now it's at 39. Oh well. So we should be pretty close. I guess we should be pretty close. Either way though, we'll be knocking that out and hopefully getting another 10 pull, and the 10 pull is going to hopefully get me my what my fourth character who is not, please, who cannot be another dupe. It is imperative. It is so important. If it is another Yoruichi dupe, we are down. We are down. We are going to slide slowly back into the first worst account on global. You know what I'm saying? Like, this will be cool, but I would kind of just like to have another character. And that gets into a conversation for people, you know, as I, again, continue to summarize and sort of close the book on 1 week of Bleach Soul Resonance, which I will continue to play, continue to do updates. I think what I'm going to start switching to, if not just like doing the content and sort of showing how a free-to-play, you know, a free-to-play progresses through some of this content, is I'll invite you showcases, I might just do reactions, what have you. It's nice to have someone at least in the community who isn't like isn't just like, oh, if you're a whale, do this. Because I mean, if you're a whale, I mean, just you swipe the credit card, bro. You know, let's get it going. Like, come on, chop chop. Right. So, you know, we'll see. I think Bleach Soul Resonance as far as like, and I'm actually gonna auto some of my events just so I have something on the screen, you know, going. But I think Bleach Soul Resonance, as far as the grind of the game, is exceptionally fun, right? I think that it feels the most like an actual interesting action RPG to play in the gacha space to me so far. I haven't had a lot of experience with them, but I have played a little bit of Zenless Zone Zero, and Zenless Zone Zero I found to be cool at first, but it again just had this issue of the characters not being that cool. I mean, if you're a waifu person, and I'm not like, you know, I'm not shaming anyone if you're a waifu person, it is what it is, right? If your favorite characters are, you know, big titty anime girls, then, you know, you love Zenless Zone Zero, I'd imagine. But I kind of like my characters a little cooler. I like them abiding by rule of cool. So in that case, Bleach, where, you know, Yoruichi is bouncing around the screen and she's, you know, the fastest character in the game and she's doing all these flurry attacks, I think that fits me a little more, that suits me a little more. Super cool character, super cool visually. That's just me. You know, it's different strokes for different folks. You can't really be objective in that sense. It's just my subjective sensation on the, you know, playing of this game. I feel like they really do a great job in Bleach Soul Resonance of making every character feel like they're the coolest character in the game. Everyone's super unique. Obviously, there's only so much you can do with the gacha space in terms of an action game, and we're still sort of figuring out where that upper limit is. But one thing I would say about gacha is what they usually do is create cool, or they try to create cool characters. They try to create appealing characters, and look at her finishing off there, super sick. They try to make appealing characters, and then they sort of build the game around that, right? I think in this case, they made a really fun game, and we're just like, we're happy to have it be, you know, the Bleach IP, right? Where the Bleach IP is a very strong character, you know, aesthetically IP. Like you look at Bleach characters, even if you don't like Bleach, because Bleach can be a little wacky at some points. It's not the tightest written story in the world, right? Even if you don't like Bleach, like, you can sort of concede that you look at this, like, group of characters on the screen right here. Ikaku looks sick. Kenpachi looks sick. Ichigo does look sick. Byakuya looks sick. Renji looks sick. I mean, Renji is Mr. Aura. This dude literally only jobs. This is like the loser of the series. This guy shows up, he says Roar Zabimaru, and he gets waxed. And I loved him. I loved him when I was younger, right? Like, he's sick. He looks sick. His weapon is sick. Chain swords are cool. Roar Zabimaru is hard. And it is what it is, right? I can't wait for an SSR Renji, right? Like, everyone loves that guy. So, yeah, I do think that is one of the big upsides. As far as the gear system and such, I would consider to err on being very tentative with your place. I do want to show, like, how my character's shaping up. I have a bunch of gear that is kind of whatever. You know, you can see 4 stars here. You don't put too much credence into like, oh, I gotta maximize. Nothing has walled me yet. Like, I could easily switch over here and blow off this like 10 piece, right? Crit damage here, could blow off this 10 piece, crit damage here. I do think that in regards to that ultimate charge rate and crit damage here, we'll actually equip that. It actually seems just better, right? In this case, though, I mean, ultimate recharge rate, this stat right here is the one that I would say is like pretty must have. That feels really good to have on every single character. I can look through here again though. We got strike damage. Like, this is all I'm doing really. Strike damage, is it a strike character? Yes, maybe I'll use it. Is it ultimate recharge rate? Yes, maybe I'll use it. Instead, we have crit rate and strike damage here, so I'm just gonna leave that piece alone. I wouldn't worry too much about, like, you know, and this is nothing against any of the people in this space who are like, you know, click here now, best build in the game for this character, right? There's nothing against them. I'm just saying that we are in week 1. Eventually, this will all just get mathed out, right? So, it's not really something I'm too concerned about. At some point, someone will do all the math. I didn't even realize that I did not have this, like, upgraded, so we're going to do this in front of you, and we'll see how much our power goes up. 68. Yeah, it's pretty good. We'll go up to 15. Oh, we can actually go to level 20? That's cool. But yeah, there's a lot of like, oh, you know, we got to rush to tier list here, gear tier list here. How do you build the characters? It's like, we'll figure that out in another week, right? Someone will just do the math and it'll be easy. For now, you literally do not need like to maximize these characters or rush maximizing these characters, right? It really doesn't, you know, it doesn't like serve you as a free-to-play player. It's like, I say it all the time, but like when you're playing these gacha games, low spending or free-to-play, again, if you don't know me, I've played Dokkan for almost 3 years at this point, and the most I've really spent is like on the subscription. And I think buying the subscription of a gacha game is usually the most worth it thing. And even in a game like Bleach Soul Resonance that does have good packs, it does have great purchases, right? Like, it's appealing. But yeah, I do think that unless you're a whale, you do get stalled out. There's just not enough for you to do. And this is early days, man. This is early days. So if I can give any sort of, you know, guidance or tips to someone who's like, well, I feel like I'm so stuck, just literally do the things you need to do daily and then close the game. And your account is going to be so good because you just do your stuff daily and then don't look at it. You know what I mean? Because you're not tempted to spend, oh man, I'm playing 8 hours a day, but I'm getting limited by, you know, my stamina. I'll just use J's. I'll just use, you know, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300 Jades, and then I'll get to play more. I'll just use all of my, you know, nourishers and I'll get to play more. It's like, what are you really chasing, right? I do get the game is really fun, but a part of keeping that fun going, keeping that excitement going, is realizing when it's time to say, okay, I've done my stuff for today. I'm gonna let it ride. Toshiro's coming out in a little bit, his guy rather, and he looks incredible. I could actually, in what panel is the actual, like, camera? Ooh, look at that. That's a little intro. In what panel is the, like, what is it called? The, like, road map. I don't remember exactly, but all this to say that, like, you don't need to be rushing this game. My next plans for the game, it's obviously just to start building up another team, right? Urahara is really strong. I haven't gotten his stamp, I think, so he's just on like garbage, but he is a support, so it does not really matter. Ichigo's Shikai form will be the next character I commit to raising. He doesn't have like, he doesn't have any of his, like, you know, stamps or anything, right? But if he even has a weapon stamp, but he does have his core stamp, which is cool. I pulled on the stamps, like I said previously, for Yoriichi, and he got his, so that is nice. He's on a bunch of whack gear. His skills are pretty leveled. I guess I got to him, so that's cool. But yeah, he'll be the next character. I don't have. I will just be using Yachiru for his team, or obviously, you know, Urahara. As far as his tactics character goes, I'll probably be using Yuryu, which means that I'm going to want, like, to level this character. Maybe I might just use Yachiru and Urahara though, and just say fuck it, right? We'll see. After that, Rukia seems like an incredible character to just have on. I did pull her stamp a while ago, so there's no reason to not just grab this character and, you know, continue pumping value into that character, right? If you're someone who's like, I've gotten my main core group out, now what do? I would probably also just suggest, hey, get your Rukia built. And yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna get going to actually do some of this content, do some of this story clearing. 7 days of Bleach. This is where, if you haven't really used your Jade to refresh, if you've only been using Nourishers, if you've just been, you know, keeping it sort of low key while you build up power, this is where I would say you should be expected to be. Maybe some of you are real grinders out there, you know something I don't. If you do, please inform other people in the comments below. If this video happens to get traction, you can tell me, you can tell them, hey, you're missing out on this huge wellspring of power. But yeah, Bleach Soul Resonance, extremely fun game. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing, you know, tomorrow, the day after that for it, but I will continue to just keep playing. This is some of the most fun I've had with Gacha this year. This and Chaos Zero Nightmare have really stood out. And that is the power of making a game that's fun first and then packaging the bullshit behind it, right? So I see people dooming about Crunchyroll. I see people dooming about its handling of this and that. It's like, hey, they made the game fun first. We'll just hope that Crunchyroll is very hands-off and just does whatever new verse is planning to, and we don't have to worry about foolishness, right? We hope. That's all we can hope, really, because they really did make something very enjoyable to just press buttons in. Right, and that is the most important thing you can do in a video game. The most important thing you can do is satisfy the gameplay experience first, and, you know, make me deal with the bullshit after. So, like, if you liked the video, subscribe to the club. This has been 1 week. Thank you, and peace.